Leave it there. I'm going to hit go live now.
I'm in a sweet spot. I'm feeling good. The sun is shining. I knew it would. The world's a playground. I'm in the clouds. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Just check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm on the big stage. I got my crew. I'll get you moving. It's what I do. The party's starting. It's going down. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Just check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. Check me out. Check me out. Just check me out. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Just check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Just check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out.
If you came in on tonight and everything worked flawlessly, you'd all think something was wrong.
Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day. And we're back! Amazingly, I am not inebriated and I am here commentating, pretending I know how to do things right. Yes, Ryan, I am already commentating. Just started the stream. There we go, Ryan. Oh yeah, welcome to Kyalami. We have roughly 9 minutes of practice left as we're casting all kinds of curses on Paudi Mall. Trying to get final laps in before the qualification session. And then a 55-minute race, and yes, I checked this time, so it definitely is a 55-minute race. It's not 2 sprint races. And 55-minute race means also mandatory pit stops with mandatory refueling and optional tires, but minimum pit time has been set to 25 seconds. So the difference between taking tires and not taking tires in a pit stop is 5 seconds. Even if you take just 1 liter of fuel, you still have to be stationary for at least 25 seconds. As Baudimol practices his pit entry, carefully navigating the final turn in the pit entry, which is very tight, and he will reset the pits from that position. And we will find ourselves the next victim of cursing, and let's see who's doing good. Thomas Nawrocki is currently improving. Time to cast some cursing, because we cannot have improving drivers. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. He is currently 4/10 up, and as Thomas is navigating the final turns of Kyalami, we are going to try and take a look a little bit at our current standings. If I figure out how to do this. There we go, amazing! So, what do we have? Gold or Pro? We have Paul Sadlowski with 275 points, followed by Steve Richardson with 255 points, and in P3 in Gold or Pro we have Rich Gasson with 240 points. So 35 points separating the top three, and as Steve Richardson and I believe Rich Gasson are not here tonight, Sadlowski has a very good chance of bagging this gold championship tonight. In silver, however, we have a little bit of a different story. We have Michael Stevens leading with 259 points, followed by Nick Golding with 250 points, and James Odell in P3 with 244 points. 15 points separating the top three. And I do believe all three of them are here. At least I see Stevens and James. Yes, Nick Golding. Yes, he is also here. Nick Golding is currently in P18, but still here. So this can still be an interesting battle to watch. In bronzes, we have, or AMs, we have Menno Dekkers leading with 270 points. Vitor Ferreira with 253 points, and Pauli Mall with 246 points. Vitor is not with us tonight, I believe, but we do have Pauli and Menno. Although the gap is rather big, but anything can still happen. It's still not a given championship. Overall, because all three classes receive the same amount of points for victories within their class, we also have a little bit of a mix in the top three. So in overall P1, Paul Sadlowski with 275 points, followed by Menno Dekkers with 270 points, and in third position Michael Stevens with 259 points. So still a lot to go for, still a lot can happen. And I just realized we have still failed to cast a curse on Thomas Norotsky, and he's managed to improve up to P2. Our current P1 time is occupied by Paul Sadlowski, sitting comfortably in the pits at the moment. 1 minute 40.9, with Thomas Norotsky just a tenth and a half, roughly a tenth and a half behind, with Andrew Phipps a further 200ths of a second behind Thomas. In silvers, Michael Stevens is leading in this practice currently, and Pauli Mall in the AMs. Gaps are still quite tight, and we still have people joining. Just double check. Yes, I'm actually streaming audio and everything, so you should be hearing my voice. You should be suffering through this. Because yeah, I've just said a lot of things, and I would hate to find out now if my microphone was muted. And yeah, we still have people joining, but so far we have 20 drivers across all three classes. And less than a second is separating the top 7 drivers at the moment. Oh, Norotsky has reset pits, and we have Eddie Wilkins also improving, so we also must try and cast some cursing. We have 3 minutes separating us from the quali. Just one quali session tonight, of course, as well, because there's only one race session. We are in the evening hours. It's 7 p.m. currently. Sun is setting. Oh, and Andrew Phipps has a yellow flag. Shake and bake facing the wrong way. I believe this was coming out of turn 5. Here we go, turn 2. Yes, this is turn 2. Turn 1 is actually the kink down the home straight. So turn 3, 4, and now 5. A little bit of curb, a lot of curb on the outside, and a wall. Just trying to see what the best cameras are going to be during the race coverage. Because God forbid I try to do this before the actual stream on the night. We should also be having a hitman doing live stewarding, but so far nothing from hitman. So we might have to review incidents after the race again. Because, yeah, I will not be able to commentate and do the live stewarding at the same time. Oh, Steve Richardson has just entered the server. So the battle for gold is continuing. Nice drift, Roman. Nice drift through turn 5. One more minute until qualification. And of course we have a great mix of cars tonight here again. We have Fords, we have Aston Martins, we have Ferraris, we have Porsches, we have Lambros, we have Nissans, we have Lexi, yeah, I don't know how to pluralize Lexus. And we have an AMG, of course, driven by Steve Richardson as well, and McLarens. I am missing a Boatley though. Bentley would be nice to kind of round out all the different manufacturers. And that is it for practice session. The drivers who are still on a lap will just complete their laps, and then we'll be on our way with the qualification. And in the meantime, say hi in the chat for me. Make me feel special. No? Oh, James, hello! And here we go. Just need to do things to get things working again. And we are back. We are going to admire the wonderful livery that is Rexy, driven by Paudi Mol. Yeah, James, hopefully it will be a fun one. Currently 21 drivers in all three classes. And a very busy racetrack, as we can see. 30 minutes of qualifying to set a lap time. And it does seem like all the classes are going out at the same time. A very nice sunset, so 6 p.m. you get that nice sunshine onto your windscreen as you approach turn 6, or I believe it's sunset. let me quickly check. Kyalami turn names. Because what would I do without Google? Yes, it is Sunset. It's turn 6, named Sunset. And we are going to be jumping on board with Paudi for a lap, as I try to narrate the corner names and everything for you. Yep, there's a good clue. As we just starting the lap over the start-finish line now, and we approach turn 1 here, which is called the kink. So this tiny little kink is turn 1, then for turn 2, about 100 meters braking. Down, all the way down to first for Crowthorne, then through turns 3 and 4 a chicane or XK sweep, and a quick dab of the brakes and a very shallow turn, or try to keep as a shallow line through here as possible. Carry as much speed as possible through turn 5 or barbecue as we run up to Sunset, where we will see this nice sunset, a long right sweeping corner, blinding sun in your face. And then at a 50 meters marker board, we break down for Clubhouse or turn 7. Very slippery corner, and then for the S's, turns 8 and 9. Short dab of the brakes, get the car turned in, hub over the curbs, and up the hill onto the hairpin, turns 10 and 9, or Leukup, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a double turn hairpin, basically, double apex. And downhill through 12 of fast left sweeping mine shaft and into the crocodiles. Take a wide entry, late turn in, and try to carry as much speed as possible. You can go very wide on the exit here and still be legal. And now for Cheetah, turn 15, or the sausage corner as it's known in D.G.S.R. And Ingwe, turn 16, or the last turn of the corner, last turn of the track, sorry. And try to get the power down as quickly as possible, because the home straight is very long indeed. And thank you, Paudi, for taking us for a ride, for a lap, as he crosses the finish line in P5 with a 143.5. Up in front we have Paul Sadlowski occupying the current P1, so a provisional pole of 141.2. And I have a feeling those times may still tumble a little bit. Although he has cleared the field by almost 8 tenths at the moment, as he runs wide out of barbecue. Yes, James, I agree. Very good names. I love Kyalami myself. It's a very, very fun, fast sweeping and good flowing track. And it makes also for good racing, I think, because there is quite a couple of overtaking opportunities here where you can make your moves, particularly down into turn 2, or also into the hairpin, or into crocodiles if you're brave enough and can get a good clean run through turn 12 or through mine shaft. But right now let's see what is happening. Thomas Nawrocki in P2 currently, 3.8 tenths behind Paul Sadlowski. Let's see our improvers. Rob Larby is improving by over half a second and should jump up into P3, exactly half a second down from Paul in P3, and has been relegated to P4 immediately by Roman Frawler. More improvers. Let's see, Ryan Greenaway on a good improvement lap as he navigates the final turn. Ingwe, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, I'm not pronouncing it right, but there we are. Currently in silver P2. with James Odell currently occupying the silver provisional pole position. With a 142.4. Let's see, improvers. We have Matt Keys improving, coming out of the final turn, 8 tenths up. This will be a nice improvement, should get him P14, P15 with a 143.29. Everything's green on the board, everyone's improving. My cursing capability has been rendered useless. Stephen Kroll currently the top improver, improving by a second. If he keeps this up, he could land in the top 10. So let's try and prevent that, so that he can be a little bit more frustrated. Sorry, Steve. Still on a very good improvement, navigating through the hairpin, through low cup. I'm just gonna call it hairpin because it's probably more correct than my botched South African pronunciation. Nice run through crocodiles. Keep it safe through cheetah. Don't hump that curb on the inside because you are going to be ejected into the sand. Final turn, get the power down, run out wide because you can. 9 tenths and P15 in the end. Up in front, Paul Sadlowski has again nailed it with a sub 141 lap, so 140.98. A very excellent lap, and has cleared the field currently by 2.5 tenths. One in his immediate vicinity is currently improving their lap times. In silver, there has been a change in provisional pole. Currently, James Odell has been relegated by Michael Stevens, but James is behind, improving by over 2 tenths, and if he keeps this up, he will snatch the provisional pole back from Michael again. So I believe this is shaping up for a very good fight in the silvers, because both of these are very quick and tightly together based on lap times. While we're waiting for James Odell to finish his lap, Paul Sadlowski has improved his lap time and has set a 140.76. James Odell is squiggling out of crocodiles and improving by half a second, over half a second. Stephen Kroll has just come in with a mega improvement and has for a moment snatched silver P1, but James Odell has absolutely demolished it now and is leading in silver by almost 2 tenths. In the AMS, Menno Dekkers comfortably in bronze provisional pole with a 142.1, also a very good lap, and is ahead of almost all silver rated drivers except James. And I am smelling a promotion for Menno for the next year, because he is showing more than capable to be able to fight for top positions even in the silver class based on his performances in the season. Let's see, Ryan Greenaway is also an improver. Keeping this up, he will be in the mix for silver P1. It seems like silver is where it's at this season. Most fights we've seen are, I believe, in the silver category. He has lost a little bit of time through Cheetah. Through Ingwe, gained a little bit again. and is currently in P2 for silvers. A tenth behind James Odell, a tenth and a half. A very good lap, a 42.1, but also behind Menno Dekkers. And that's what I mean. That's why I think Menno will be in silvers next season. Because yeah, he's constantly mingling, words are hard today apparently, with the silver drivers. Hitman is asking on Discord what time is the race starting. Our founding member, or founder, ladies and gentlemen, is asking when the D.G.S.R races are starting. Alright, let's see. James Odell is still improving by 3/10, running away with that silver silver P1, silver pole position. Has lost a bit of improvement through the hairpin, but is still on an improver. And goes off track. We are going to hop on board with Steve Richardson. He is currently improving by 3.5 tenths. Will land in P2 if he manages to keep that up through Ingwe, which he does. Loses a little bit of time, but will still be enough for P2 currently. A 141.0. Just a tiny fraction away from getting into the 140s. Oh, cameraman, you're a little bit slow. There's the Merc. The European muscle car. Will someone challenge Paul Sadlowski for the pole position? Seems like Paul and the Ford are a very good duo this season. And proving a tough nut to crack. Steve Richardson might just do it this time. He is right on the edge of Paul's lap. Is currently set on... Ooh, that's a little bit sideways through Cheetah. Lost a little bit of time. Will it still be enough though? Was this a tad too wide? No, it was still in legal bounds, and this should be our new P1, and indeed by 4/100ths of a second. Absolutely smashed it in the middle sector. Also fastest in the third sector, just a tiny fraction slower in the first sector. No, this now puts the ball in Paul's field, and he will have to respond. And we have also seen Steve go very sideways through Cheetah, so I believe he still has a little bit in himself to improve even further, as he is trying to do so now. He has lost a little bit of, a lot of time through the S's. He might have backed off. He might have backed off here. He is losing over a second now. I believe he has backed off. Or is this just my graphic not collaborating? Oh no, he has an invalid lap. He has invalidated, that's why he's backed off. Probably tried to cool his tires a little bit before giving it an oh. And that's why I don't want to go over the cheetah curb too much, because that's what happens. Practice the pit entry. And let's jump on board with Andrew Phipps, currently improving in the shake and bake Ferrari. That was Ryan Greenaway. Ryan Greenaway has had a moment through Cheetah. What happened there? That's Crocodiles. Oh, too much curb. And in the wall. Stephen Kroll and occupying currently P3 in silvers, but not for long, because I think this will give him even P1 in silvers. We have a lead change in the silver class. Stephen Kroll, is currently on provisional pole in silvers by 7/100ths of a second. A little bit over 7/100ths of a second. The board is currently red. One is improving, and Steven is in the sand and has reset to pits. Actually, I lie. Michael Stevens is improving. Going over Cheetah. Oof. Too much curb on the outside. Still improving. Still might see an improvement in position, or nope, it's not gonna happen. It did not happen. Did improve his time, but did not improve the position. Currently in P4. So the pressure is on him because yep, his championship standings could be in question. Of course, he still has some point advantage over James Odell. And Ryan, I believe is in P2. I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry, and I already closed it, so I cannot quickly check it because I'm just smart that way. Minutes left of qualifying. A lot of people are sitting in the pits. Paul Sadlowski is trying to snatch back pole position and is currently on an improver. Going through the S's. Has lost that time actually. Shows that yeah, these guys are really on the edge, giving it their all, trying to outperform each other. Switch it to this, you can at least see Paul's improvement time, or Paul's delta in the top left, which is currently not an improvement. But he needs 4/100ths of a second Someone's getting frustrated. Someone is getting frustrated. Oh, we're forwarding to next session. Interesting. I was not aware of this. So let's see quick. Oh, we can't. We'll have to wait for the session to flip over. So we are going to take a short break, and we are going to be back with you in a minute. Welcome back to the D.G.S.R race in Kyalami. So, P1, Steve Richardson in the Mercedes. In P2, in the Ford Mustang, Paul Sadlowski. And in P3, Rob Larby in the Porsche 992 GT3. In silvers, we have Stephen Kroll in P1 and James Odell in P2. Followed by Ryan Greenaway in another Porsche in a silver P3. In the AMS, we have Menno Dekkers in P1 and Pauli Moll in P2 and Matt Keys in P3. So those are our top 3 qualifiers in each session. And we have roughly 50 seconds before the start of the short formation drive. And then a 55-minute race. Of hopefully pure actions in one of the best tracks or most legendary tracks out there, Kyalami in South Africa. 7 p.m. lights are coming on because it will get dark throughout the running of the race. And we are ready to rumble. Meters are separating us from the start-finish line, from the green flag, and we are going to go racing. And we have green, who has gotten a better start. Unfortunately, we don't see this too well from this angle, but it seems Richardson is a little bit ahead of Sadlowski going into turn 2, has the inside line, but now the track is going to change and they are still side by side going into barbecue. Richardson has come out on top. And Sadlowski is under attack by Rob Larby. And we have a change in position for P2. Rob Larby has snatched P2 from Paul Sadlowski. Still in the thick of it. But Rob Larby has managed to sneak by and is in P2. There has been some argy-bargy in the background. Of course, we are going to check that in a minute. David Lolek, Ryan Greenaway, and Thomas Dvorak were involved. Oh! Late break, and has hit Dvorak in the back, sending Dvorak into a spin. I do believe this will be a oh, and more argy-bargy going on just now. Although it hasn't been picked up by my software. So let's see up in front Steve Richardson in P2. Actually oh, he's in P1. My race control is not updating. Why is it not updating? Hello? Kinda need this. Please. Hey, I'm going to quickly restart race control. Connect. Okay, let's see. I have absolutely nothing. Ah, there we go. It decided to work again. We are back. Let's see, what have I missed? Sadlowski has passed Rob Larby. Maybe if we go back. It's super laggy. I changed to Sadlowski a while ago already, and I don't know. Anyway, Sadlowski coming out of shape out of Cheetah through the final corner. Ooh, sideways on power, but gets a good run down the home straight, and that's, I'm willing to bet, where the overtake happened into turn 2. Rob decide not to try and defend. Tries to go for the switch back, but oh, and Sadlowski's all kinds of sideways out of corners. I believe he is running no TC again. And this is how... Oh, and Rob Larby, I see, is dropping in positions while we are stuck in the replay, because I cannot cancel this for some reason. Rob Larby has dropped down to P8. We are, of course, going to see this in a second. Yeah, I cannot... Why is it taking so long? Every command that I do in race control, it's taking so long. Something's not right on my end. I do apologize for this. I want to see what happened to Rob here. Was it self-induced or helped by outside factors, so to speak? Or was it just the sausage curb? I do believe this is starting to look like the sausage curb incident, and yes, it was. Oh, I don't believe he kept... Nope, he hit the wall. We can see the damage on the front of that Porsche. Hopefully not too extensive damage. And of course, again, I cannot do anything in this, in the ACC race control. I will attempt to restart it again. If that doesn't work, I will attempt to just use ACC interface to do things. Starting race control again. Let's see. Let's try connecting this time. Okay, we have connected. I have no driver driver list again. Connection timed out. The game client stopped sending data. Amazing. Unfortunately, I cannot restart the game because this means you will not see anything. I still have nothing. In the race control. Just ACC things, I think. So I am going to try and my best to spot things through the ACC interface itself, although this will be a little bit more difficult, I believe. Yep, it's just not working. Alright, let's see. It's working now again. Let's see if it's still laggy. Yes, it is. It is still laggy as hell. Trying to switch. Just trying to switch cars is proving very slow. But anyway, I don't have the gaps. I don't have anything in race control, unfortunately. But up in front we have Steve Richardson in P1 being chased by Paul Sadlowski, tightly behind, gap being roughly 0.8 of a second. And the pair are extending their gap over Andrew Phipps. They are currently leading by 2.5 seconds. In silvers, we have James Odell currently leading silver class, followed by Rob Larby from the pros after having the sausage incident. And in P2 in silvers, Ryan Greenaway. Oh, Mike Stevens. Or something just happened. Yes, indeed, Stevens had an issue. Stevens has dropped down to P4 in the silvers. Maybe catch something. Oh! Stevens has spun following Rob Larby. This is, I believe, in the hairpin. Yes, indeed. This is the downhill section now through mineshaft. That's how Stevens lost a couple of positions. And this is not what he wants to do at this point, because this means his gap in championship standings will be reduced. In the AMs, of course, Menno Dekkers does currently not have this concern. He is comfortably in P1 in the silvers at the moment. Even if being chased by Michael Stevens for on-track position in the championship standings in the bronze class shouldn't matter, but for overall supremacy, let's call it this way, it could maybe be beneficial for Menno to try and keep Michael Stevens behind. Paul Dimol has already completed his pit stop. Of course, being the most excellent commentator ever, I have completely missed this. is currently in P20, where I believe we have also lost a driver. I believe Thomas Nowrotsky has thrown in the gloves after having the incident in lap 1. Up in front, the battle is raging between Paul Sadlowski and Steve Richardson. Oh, I should not have clicked that. I don't know if I'll be able to get back onto the TV camera because my race control is completely borked. Anyway, let's enjoy this view for a little bit. Let's see where Paul is gaining and losing time as opposed to Steve Richardson. Nice little bit of sideway action coming out of Yngve from both of the drivers. And this is where the power of the Ford probably shines down the main straight and then into the heavy braking zone of turn 2. Their lap times are pretty much the same. Last time around, Richardson did a 141.2 and Sadlowski did a 141.19. Just a couple of hundredths of a second separating them. And on the track, this translates also to a 2/10 difference between them. For the fun part, trying to get... Oh, there we go. Okay. I actually still remember some shortcuts from ACC. Amazing. Very close on the bumper there, Paul, through mineshaft, but not close enough to make a move into Crocodiles. It is very close now, coming out of Crocodiles, and is maybe lining up for an attack down the main straight. We see action happening. Oh, what the hell are you doing, ACC? And we have an attack into P1, and Paul is through. Paul is through for P1. We have a change in the lead. Since there was some camera shenanigans, let's see this again from the helicopter circling the track all the time in the slipstream, pulls out right before the braking zone and snatches P1. Great piece of driving by both of them. Very interesting to see these fights on the track. I believe Steve is not ready to give this one up. So we might see a reverse this time around. I'm actually hoping to see it. Steve is very close to Paul coming through Crocodile, so it's the exact reverse of the previous lap, but this time Steve is on the attack. Out through the final corner, try to get a good run, tuck in under that rear wing, try to get as much suck as you can. I don't think he is close enough. Yeah, the power of the Ford down the straight and the speed of the Ford is just too much. But Steve is definitely not giving this one up. In the background, we have Rob Lorby entering the pits. No, Bonnet is not looking happy on that car. Did he have another incident? He's currently dropping down in order, which is normal because he is stationary in the pits. And in the meantime, Michael Stevens has retaken P3 in the silvers. His gap to James Odell is currently roughly 12 seconds. But only 2nd and 8/10 away from P2, Stephen Kroll. Night is slowly falling onto Kyalami, as we have roughly 20 minutes of the race already behind us, and in the meantime Rob Lorby has exited the pits, so it might have been a scheduled stop as Stevens goes nice and sideways through Cheetah. There was a change in position between James Odell and Roman Froller up in front. Silver versus bronze. Silver versus pro rated driver. Unfortunately, I'm missing stuff even more now when I don't have race control working properly. And once, the standings in ACC update, it's already very much too late for things. So I will try to spot those things sooner. Up in front, Steve Richardson has dropped back a tiny bit from Paul. Although they are still separated by only a second. Have lapped Rob Lorby, as you have maybe just now seen the green Porsche in the background. There it is. That is Rob Lorby currently in P19 with a completed mandatory pit stop. And I believe he has also repair damage, so he might have smacked the car again or just opted that the damage sustained so far was too much and needed pit and repair because he was losing too much time. Steve's lap times have dropped off a tiny bit. While Sadlowski is still just on it. And lapping low 141s all the time. Shaping up for P4 between Phil Walker. Every time I christen him as Paul. And Marek Dvorak. Phil, of course, in the pink Roxy livery, not Rexy, but Roxy. Paul Dimol, of course, being in the counterpart Rexy livery, in the one that we all know and love, the green Rexy livery. Boros is closer to Matt Gale. And might be shaping up for an attack here. Maybe even this time around down the home straight. If he can get a better run out of Ingwe. Get a nice tow down the home straight, but of course also the Nissan is also very strong on the straights, so it will need to be a very good run out of the final corner for Carlos. In the meantime, Eddie Wilkins is entering the pits for his mandatory pit stop. Seem to be spreading out a tiny bit. Which means... well, apart from these two, of course. Apart from these two, they are really nose to tail. So Matt Gale and Carlos Boros. We are going to be treated to excellent battles between these two. Oh, and Carlos is right on the back of that Nissan. Going through mineshaft, a little bit wide for Matt. Defends the inside into crocodiles. And retains the position, so this is for position 12 or for position 5 in the silvers. And speaking of silvers, Ryan Greenaway from position 4 in silvers has just entered the pits. Carlos has dropped off a little bit from the bumper of Matt Gale. I do believe that during the lap he will quickly regain the ground lost. Of course, I have to now use the keyboard shortcuts and ACC itself to switch cameras. Things a little bit more interesting for myself, I guess. And Ryan Greenaway is out of the pits in P16 currently and in the last position in silvers, but that is pretty much to be expected with those small gaps. But keep in mind, everyone else still has to complete their pit stop, as Matt Gale is again forced to take a defensive line into the hairpin. Ooh, a nice sideways kick off the rear from Carlos coming out of the hairpin. Of course, this is not good for you when you're trying to pass someone. And again, Matt has to go defensive into crocodiles, and Carlos is now right alongside him. This will go all the way through Cheetah. Matt is still on the defensive line and has managed to fight off the attack from Carlos this time. But Carlos is now really on the rear bumper coming out of Ingwe and into the next lap. Will he be able to exploit the slipstream? Maybe attack into turn 2? Ooh, Matt is retaking the racing line because Carlos is not close enough for an attack, as Matt has judged to perfection. But Carlos is piling on the pressure. Although it must be said that Matt is doing an excellent job trying to defend, goes defensive into sunset, has to take all the defensive lines to discourage Carlos from trying to make the move. But of course, by taking defensive lines, you are also a little bit slower through the corners, as Carlos makes a mistake going through clubhouse, and this will give a little bit of a breather to Matt, as he has dropped the menacing Aston a little bit due to Carlos making a tiny bit of a mistake through clubhouse. Right behind them, Nick Golding is looking for an opportunity to maybe get into the mix of this battle. Of course, by battling on track, you are slowing each other down, which means the cars behind you have a better chance of closing up to you. And this is just what has happened here. Oh, and Carlos is into the pits. Carlos is going into the pits. He will try to undercut Matt this way because he thinks he can drive quicker, so he will try to go into the pits, then do a couple of quick laps, and will hopefully come on top of, or in front of, not, well, if he comes out on top of Matt Gale, this will of course not be not be very good, but if he comes out ahead of Matt Gale, this will be excellently executed undercut. But of course this now means our battle, or the only close battle so far, is over. Carlos Barros is exiting the pit lane, and I am interested to see how Matt will respond with this. Will he pit now as well to try and reduce the chance of Carlos having to do the undercut? To deny him the free track where he can possibly drive quicker. Pit lane is turning busy. We have Marek, Dvorak, Roman Frawler and D.G.S.R, all three in the pits. And Matt Gale is in the pits. Matt Gale has entered the pits, and we are going to see where Carlos Barros is right now. I believe he is just entering, just exiting SS and going into the hairpin. Matt Gale is still stationary. You can see on the race track animation, the 508, the darker gray point, is stationary in the pits as Barros navigates Cheetah and now navigates the final turn as Matt Gale is still stationary. So he is now moving, but Carlos Barros will come down with a greater speed and will complete the pass. And the undercut has worked. Carlos has managed to jump Matt Gale in the pits. Gap after the pits. Oh, Paul Sedlowski is in the pits as well. I missed that fact. And since I don't have the gaps in ACC Race Control, I cannot tell you what the current gap is between Gale and Barros. But it feels not a lot. Roughly 3 seconds, I would say. And Steve Richardson is now trying to use this time when Paul is in the pits, or was in the pits, because he is already out of the pits, and accelerating down towards turn 2. How will Steve respond? Will he try with a longer overcut? Try to post some quicker laps now when he is potentially running a little bit less fuel? Pit lane is proper busy at this moment. Although Richardson might be kept up by Matt Gale here a little bit, but I believe Steve is going for the pits. Yes, Steve is going for the pits. And will not attempt to extend his stint any further. Steve is still moving to his pit box. Oh, no, Steve is stationary in the pit box. Andrew Phipps has taken the lead of the race now by continuing on track at the moment. In P1 Silver, James Odell is also in the pits. And Paul Sadlowski is just going through turn 12 mineshaft. Oh, and we have a yellow, 131 Paul Dimol. Paul Dimol yellow on the exit of Sunset. Still stationary. And I believe Steve is now moving. Please, race control. Sadlowski will just about retain the lead. Yep, there is Steve on the inside. And Paul has managed to exit. Managed to retain his positions, his P1 after the pits as well. Let's see, can we now maybe catch what was happening with Paul Dimol? See if race control decides to work a little bit quicker. And we lost another driver, unfortunately. Lost another driver. I cannot go to replay. I click on it and nothing happens, so I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. And everyone apart from two drivers, because Andrew Phipps has just entered the pits from P1. Everyone apart from two drivers has already pitted. One driver who has still yet to stop is Menno Dekkers in the bronze P1 and David Lolek in current overall P5. He will enjoy the overall lead of the race currently. Congratulations, Menno, a new leader of the race. Yep, and Andrew Phipps has been passed by Steve Richardson and Paul Sadlowski. And also David Lolek, but David Lolek still has to stop. So I do not believe that he will be behind Phipps or ahead of Phipps for very long. Eddie Wilkins is a little bit of a surprise for me this season, because in the previous season he has always been mingling in the upper half of pros, although he was in silver I believe in the previous season, but he was always in the upper half of pros, and I believe in season 12 he is struggling quite a bit and is not showing the same level of performance as he was in the previous season. I hope it's just a mandatory thing and that we will see him return to his regular form and challenge for top spots once more. Current lap times are definitely not reflecting his current position. Judging by the lap times, he should be further up the field. And as Menno Dekkers decided to pit, he has of course relegated P1 back to Paul Sadlowski, who is leading by 1.3 seconds from Steve Richardson. In the silver class, James Odell is comfortably leading from Stephen Craw, who is a tiny bit ahead of Michael Stevens. is a tiny bit ahead of Ryan Greenaway. And by tiny bit, I mean around 2 seconds. I was muted. I'm not sure how long for I was muted. I hope not too long. But yeah, it's just as I was saying, there is a train of cars forming for a battle for P4 between Phil, Marek and Roman Froller. And we have had a change in position. Matt Gale has regained the position from Carlos Barros. Let's see, hopefully I can catch this on the replay. If race control will actually switch the camera, no it won't, because it's just broken today. Yep, no point in switching back over there now, because we have a very tight battle here going on right now between Phil Walker, Marek Dvorak and Roman Froller. But congratulations to Matt Gale for regaining his position. This time around, Phil is a little bit ahead, has a little bit of a gap from Marek, and will probably not need to go defensive into turn 2, sorry, and indeed does not do so. Roman tries for a late move, but Marek covers it off. Of course, the battle between Matt Gale and Carlos is still anything but over. I believe Carlos will once again pile on the pressure, and I am sorry guys for having missed that. And I believe here we have seen a change in position for P5 between Roman Froller and Marek Dvorak. We have seen a change in position. Trying to do a replay. There we go. I have somehow managed to miss that. Was it coming out of barbecue? Oh yes, Marek was humping the curb a little bit too much, and this has allowed Roman to sneak by on the exit quite comfortably. Okay, no, please go back. The lifetime action. There we go, thank you. Of course, all three of them are still tightly together. All the lap times of all three are also all within 0.2 of a second. Roman trying to get a slipstream from the Porsche, but yeah, is a little bit too far behind to make a move on Phil. I believe we have lost Paldi. No, we are are down to 18 cars. Unfortunately, I have missed that. I have not seen what has happened. But we are down to 18 cars in this Kyalami race. Up in front, the gap is extended a little bit. Paul Sadlowski leading by 2 seconds. Definitely not a comfortable lead, but still a lead nonetheless. As Phil is just refusing to crack under pressure from two drivers, successfully defending, keeping his own. Roman is really close this time around, coming out of the last turn. Will definitely get a slipstream this time. I do believe Phil will have to go defensive into turn 2. No, he's not. He is retaking the racing line. Yeah, Roman is right on the back of that Porsche. Change the camera to the wing view. Please. Please. Race control. No, not working. Okay. Doesn't want to work. Oh, Roman is thinking about a move here into clubhouse. Yeah, but into clubhouse it's really hard to make a pass because you have a very long, fast sweeping right-hander where it's hard to follow due to aero wash. But here into the hairpin, you can of course try and send it, but Phil covers up off the inside, and going around the outside is a little bit tricky, but not unmanageable, of course. But an unsuccessful attack means you will lose a little bit of ground, of course. But Roman has managed to regain that little bit of ground again, going into crocodiles, and is again very close coming into the final turn. Now it's all about the traction out of the final turn. Try and get the slipstream, try and get a little bit better exit, and try and make a move down into turn 1. But I believe once more Phil has managed to extend the gap on the straight tiny bit, but they are really bumper to bumper. It would be hard to fit a sheet of paper between those two bumpers through turn 2 this time around. Hey Kiki! Kiki loves the curb hump. You just love to hump. When are you coming back to commentate, to release everyone from the pain having to listen to my mediocre commentating? A little bit of a wide exit there from Roman this time around. Still Phil is covering off that inside, but I think Roman does have a better exit now out of the hairpin, and Marek Dvorak seems to be back with them. So will Phil go defensive into crocodiles? No, I believe not. Oh, and a bump into the rear. Oof. And we will have not a side-by-side through cheetahs. It's very dangerous to go side-by-side through there. But this has allowed Marek to close up right on to the back of Roman this time. And he's now enjoying a double slipstream. Will Roman go defensive? No, I believe the gap is extending. Marek is showing his presence a little bit by pulling to the left slightly. showing his Lambro in the mirrors of the Ferrari. Has again dropped back on the exit of turn 2 a little bit. Roman is just relentless on piling on the pressure onto Phil, and Phil is just refusing to crack. I personally had the pleasure of racing against Phil hard and fair, and yes, Phil is a very good defender, and it's really hard to pressure him into a mistake, if maybe even almost impossible at times. But I have also been in Phil's position before, even with Phil being the attacker in the rear, and yeah, it is a very stressful time when you're having to fend off attacks from a seemingly slightly quicker driver at that time, because you are mostly driving with your, or almost always driving with at least one of your eyeballs glued to the rear view mirror. So you want to see what's happening behind you, you want to see when the attack is coming, and you want to see when you need to defend. Ooh, a little bit squirmy on the exit of Ingwe from Roman, which might have gifted Phil another worry-free entry into turn 2. And that's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for when you see the car behind making a mistake on the exit. Ooh, and now a mistake from Phil. Now a mistake from Phil through barbecue. But not big enough of a mistake for Roman to be able to make a move into sunset. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, when you're looking into the mirror, you're just hoping to see things like this, where you see the car behind making mistakes, because then you know, okay, I'm safe for the next turn, I'm safe for the next turn, and immediately you start thinking about the turn after that, when that driver is going to be back on your bumper again, and how you're going to defend into that next corner. Brilliant piece of driving by these two. As we have almost completed 50 minutes, 50, so 50, not 15, but 50 minutes of this race. I don't know when this time has gone by. And we have 6 minutes left in this race, which means roughly 4 or 5 laps. Roman is not close enough this time for an attack, and I think Phil knows this. Other close battles going on currently. Ooh, Matt Gale has extended his gap to Carlos Barros to over 4 seconds, which is just excellent. Seems he has found that little extra bit of pace in the second stint. The rest of the positions are pretty much the same as they were before we started following this train, battle train for P4. Up in front, Steve Richardson has dropped back a little bit, and the gap has been extended to 3.5 seconds. Now Roman is on the back bumper, coming through Ingwe. Will this be enough though for an attack into turn 2? And will Phil be able to fend it off? It seems like Phil is able to pull the gap a little bit. No matter how good of an exit Roman gets, Phil seems to be getting that tiny bit of a better exit and just extending that gap a tiny bit on the downhill run to deny Roman a chance to make a move into turn 2, into Crowthorne. Be careful there, lads. That curb can be a sneaky one on the exit of Sunset. Don't ask me how I know. I believe Roman is now under the pressure from Marek a tiny bit. Into the hairpin they go again. None of them are putting a foot wrong. None of them is cracking under this immense pressure. And they have been nose to tail pretty much since they left the pits. So for at least the last 20 minutes. I just cannot look away because this is just too interesting to follow. Again, on the exit, Roman is so close. It seems the Porsche is just pulling away slightly. Oh, this time Roman is closer. Is trying to go for a move, but still a little bit too far back. The pressure is now on. 2 laps remaining. Maybe 3 laps. We shall see. Coming out of the S's. And Phil covers up the inside. Roman goes side by side with the Porsche, but is unable to pull off the move. And I do believe we'll see 2 more laps. Or actually no, I think Paul might be on his final lap right now. Which means these 3 guys will start their final lap right now. So, after the final corner, of course. So this might be the last lap chance for Roman to do something, and he is now really on the bumper here. Will Phil have to defend for his life? Yes, he is going defensive. Phil is going defensive. Roman is going to try on the outside. Will have a quicker line through turn 1 now, but was unable to face Phil through turn 2. Oh, and a mistake coming through barbecue. I believe has saved Phil from an attack here into Sunset. The cap is slightly extended. And Roman is now forced to defend from Marek. Switch to Sadlowski in time. Should be nearing the final turn just now. 3 seconds remaining. Yes, I believe this will be the end of the race. Yes, race over. 0 seconds remaining. And congratulations, Paul, on a very deserved victory once more. An excellent drive from Paul Sadlowski. Quickly switching back to my favorite battle of the race. Phil has managed to fend off the advances of Roman and Marek. And will finish the race in P4. Oh! Roman had a spin! I believe Roman and Marek might have had a coming together. Unfortunately, since I cannot use the replay, I cannot tell you, but whatever has happened, Marek has waited for Roman to recover and has finished. Roman has finished in P5. And this is it. So we have Paul Sadlowski winning for the Pro class, James Odell winning for the Silver class, and Menno Dekkers winning for the Bronze class. And in just a short moment, I will invite the 3 winners into my commentary booth, and we will get to hear about the race experiences from each of the 3 winners for the Kyalami race. So I'll see you or hear you in just a bit. There we go. Welcome back to the stream. Let me try and borrow the 3 winners. So we have Menno, we have a James, and we have a Paul. There we go. Those are our 3 winners. Welcome, lads, and congratulations to everyone for the well-deserved victories in your respective classes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We are going to start this time again with the bronze class winner, Menno Dekkers, literally obliterating the bronze field almost at the head of the silver field. Do you smell the promotion to silver class for the next season as well?
Yeah, I think it's time for silver. Yeah, it was a great race. Lovely fight with Ryan. Good race. Good qualification.
Yeah, it was a very good qualification on your part as well. I think you were just behind James Odell.
Yep.
Ahead of every other silver driver. So yeah, I do believe that silver promotion is coming for the next season, and I do believe you are very close to also winning the bronze championship this season.
Yes,
I think your closest rival, Baltimore, has had a disconnect in the race. This year. And I do believe, although I don't want to speak too soon because we do need to review the incidents and everything, but I think this will be already decided this race. Although I do still hope that even if it is, that we will see you in the Nordschleife.
I won't be in Nordschleife. I'm in Canada at the moment. I'm going on holiday.
Well, you can take the rig with you, right? So.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah, congratulations, man, for the race victory, and it was
thank you very much.
A pleasure seeing you excel in driving in the bronze class again.
Thank you.
Moving on to the silver class, where the competition was a little bit more fiercer. James Odell coming out on top in the qualifying. For a moment there, it saw like you are going to be P1 easily, but I think Stephen Kroll has retaliated with an excellent lap, but in the end you managed to snatch the victory in the race, which is the thing that matters the most. Do you want to share a couple of words about your race, how it went?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, you're right. It was close in qualifying. T1 race was pretty pathetic, and after that it was pretty good fun actually. I just looked up and after that it was actually I was on my way to it, so I could see it in the car for the last 20 minutes, so it was a bit more exciting, but yeah,
Well, if you're going to be bored anywhere, it's good to be bored in P1, right?
I'll say that.
And then congratulations to James as well. And then moving on to the Gold Pro winner, Paul Sadlowski, once again, starting from P2. Steve has managed to snatch that pole position from you in the qualifying, and it was a very, very close qualifying indeed, and a very close battle for at least the first couple of laps between you and Steve, but you managed to sneak by and pretty much didn't have to look back anymore after that, although the gap was always in the vicinity of 2 to 3 seconds. I do believe you had a very comfortable race, or did you see it differently?
First of all, thank you, like always. It wasn't the comfortable race this time. Quite competitive in quali. Richardson did an amazing lap. And yeah, then I messed up turn 1 exit. Had to basically lift in that right kink. Went way too deep into turn 3, and then I lost the place to Lavi. And then it was comeback race, and I was worried in the pit stop though, because I messed up quite a bit. Didn't find my button for the pit limiter because I didn't drive for quite a bit, and then I got, I think, a 5-second setback. I was like, great, now you're gonna play catch up again. But I think Richardson must have made a mistake in the pits as well. So, but yeah, one mistake and that could have been the lead loss. So I'm quite happy with today. So yeah, it was a fun one.
The gap was definitely close for the whole race. It was, like I said, in the vicinity of 2 to 3 seconds all the time. I was trying to keep an eye on your gap all the time. And yeah, and the battle back from P3 into P1 in the beginning of the race was just an enjoyment to watch. And we have also spotted you going sideways a little bit out of some corners.
No.
I believe this was the result of no TC, right?
Of course. Yeah, I mean, it was a very, very fun one this time. I think in the first, before the pit stop, it was like 4 seconds and a bit. But after the pit stop, I think he dropped behind a bit of traffic. But he catched back up, I believe, to what, like 3 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, was definitely a close one. Hope to see you in the Nordschleife as well, and I do believe, since that you enjoyed that track quite a bit, I do believe we are going to see you there, right? Because I think the Pro Championship is going to go down to the wire. It's still not in the bag for you. As well as the silver is also not closed up yet, so a lot of things can still happen in the final round. So round 10, Nordschleife next week, sprint day, so 2 short races on the longest track, and this should be interesting. I'm hoping for some rain. I'm hoping for some chaos.
You want the carnage.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, lads. Thank you all for the fun tonight. Thank you for stopping by in the commentary box. And one more time, congratulations to each and every one of you for a very good driven race. And hope to see you all in the next one.
Thanks for the stream, mate.
And thanks for the stream, and thanks for the commentary.
Thank you, and also for everyone watching the stream on YouTube, thank you for stopping by, thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one as well. Thank you all, have a good night, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.